everyone. It is 8:30 on Wednesday, May the 20th, and it's briefing time. First of all, no changes to the National Terrorism Advisory System overnight. A snapshot of the region this morning. Updated numbers from the unaccompanied children effort there. As far as declaration updates, we do have a new declaration request that was received yesterday afternoon, and that is in process. Looking at damage assessments this morning, the IA damage assessments in Oklahoma were complete. We now have a request for two counties in Texas for IA. The PA PDAs in Oklahoma are ongoing, and no fire management grant requests were received overnight. Now, as we switch over to the Geo platform this morning, lots of things to talk about today. First of all, overnight, down in Addis, Louisiana, Monday afternoon, there was a train derailment down here. Last evening, they evacuated several homes around that train derailment while they uprighted the cars. Overnight, those cars were uprighted and the evacuations were lifted. Shifting back over to Texas this morning, several reports of tornadoes and severe storms. Mineral Rails, about 5 buildings there were reported as having damage. In Wise County, there were several reports overnight of people trapped. Those people have been freed, and that was as a result of a tornado or strong winds hitting 3 two-story apartment complexes. One more thing to talk about, and that's way down south in Karn City, a gas well. They had a pump failure on a gas well, and the possibility of releasing hydrogen sulfide. Some minor evacuations around that, about 20 people, and the company that is taking care of that remediation doesn't have a time frame to get those back on track. So looking now at the EOC status, all are at level 4 except for Texas, which is at level 3. The region here is at enhanced watch, and the national watch is also at enhanced watch. Looking at power outages this morning, they all continue to trend down, although they go up and down a little bit as the storms go through. Right now, Arkansas 158, Louisiana 114, New Mexico 5, Oklahoma 1600, and Texas at 2773. And again, those continue a downward trend, but they bubble up and down depending on where the storms hit. Looking at shelters this morning, Oklahoma has 1 shelter for 27. Those numbers have been pretty much constant since the start of this. And Texas, 2 shelters for 24 as well. Looking at river gauges this morning, we do show 3 in major flood. They're all down here near Corpus Christi in the south. We do have several that are in moderate flood stage. Those are indicated by these red ones. Now, over to Kurt at the Weather Service, and we'll turn on the watches and warnings.
Yes. The weather limit for North Texas yesterday is now moved on into central Arkansas, where we have seen some flash flood warnings over central and western parts of the state. We do have flash flood, and watches out for southern Oklahoma into North Texas, and the red polygons there are the flash flood warnings out of Arkansas. Did have, as you said, several tornadoes west and northwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Fort Worth will be sending out folks to get EF ratings on those and damage surveys, so we should have some of that information later on today. The overall big story is in the heavy rain and flash flooding and ongoing river flooding effects across Texas, and we will talk more about that in the weather section as we move on to the next slide. Our threat matrix is very colorful. Again, I'm going to spend a little bit of time here talking about the different threats and the threat levels, so bear with us on this. We do have some slight risk of severe storms over southwest into maybe the Edwards Plateau Hill Country today, and then that turns into a marginal threat on Thursday. So severe weather as far as large tornadoes or damaging wind or a big hail threat is on the low end scale, but there's a threat there. For the heavy rain flash flooding threat, that is going to be with us throughout the week, and it's going to shift around Texas and Oklahoma. Today it's in the southwest part of Texas, coincident with the severe storm, the slight risk over the Big Bend area on into the hill country. Thursday, it generally spreads out northward in West Texas into the Oklahoma Panhandle, and then it spans Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over a large part of central, south, north, and northeast Texas. And that's combined with some potentially very heavy rainfall Saturday, Sunday, into Monday. Obviously, a holiday weekend, saturated grounds, additional rainfall over a large area cause us to bump that threat up Saturday and Sunday and possibly Monday into the orange level versus our traditional yellow for heavy rain and flash flooding. Now, on top of all that, the background conditions that we've seen for the last 10 days over East Texas with the Trinity, Sabine, Navasota, and the other river basins out there, those continue to hover at moderate flood stage over East Texas. And now we've got the Nueces in South Texas, which is moderate to major flood stage right now. Those river basins will maintain at least moderate river flood readings probably through early June after talking with the RFC this morning on some early collaboration. The philosophy behind that is that they take a long time to drain out, so any rainfall input we have in the headwaters of these basins will just continue to prolong the episode before these stages can get down below minor or action stage. So you can think about it this way. As long as there's no water input into these systems, they will continue to drain out. But anytime there's additional rainfall put into these systems, it's just going to push that end date back further into the year. So that's the picture we're trying to paint with that long duration moderate river flooding. So, next slide, please. Okay, for our day 1 and day 1 through day 3 hazards, these are the aerial outlooks. We're continuing to carry a slight risk of flash flooding in northeast Texas with the lingering rainfall today and what drainage we're getting from the rainfall from last night. And over the Big Bend area in the southwest Texas, we see the severe storm threat and the flash flooding threat for today. As I said, the flash flooding threat will expand Thursday and Friday into west, northwest, and parts of central Texas. And we have a marginal threat of severe storms down along the Rio Grande, everywhere from El Paso down through the Big Bend into South Texas. Generally should just be some isolated reports of wind and hail. And there's also the flash flooding threat with any rainfall we get in those basins. Next slide, please. And for today, you can see our precipitation forecast. Really the bullseye down toward the Big Bend, and then the other bullseye near the Arkwest region in the southwest Arkansas into northeast Texas. Highlighted the areas of the continued river flooding over East Texas, and now the other area over South Texas, and the 5-day precipitation totals. You can see anywhere in an aerial coverage, I believe it's a 2.5 by 2.5 kilometer box, we can see in 5 days in any one of those red areas 4 to 5 inches of rain. Obviously, point locations can see much more than that over the 5-day totals. And next slide, please. Our drought monitor, as much rain as we're getting, the drought monitor is becoming less and less of an impact. Really expect to see additional improvement over the drought areas from the rain we've had over the last week. So we'll have that updated tomorrow morning. And the next slide should be solar activity. Good news, even though we're coming out of an active to unsettled period, it looks like any possibility of radio disruption is very, very, very low over the next 3 days. So, outside of your questions, that will conclude my portion of
We do have. Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate that. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat window. If you're on the phone, ask your question. And one thing I forgot to brief when we were on the Geo platform, the IMAX status, IMAX Team 1 and 2 are here in the region and available, and IMAX 3 is in Anniston in training. So we have 2 teams available and 1 team in training. As we look at the events going on around the region today, those are highlighted there. The rest of the week. And on this day in history, a tornado struck Codell, Kansas. Hit 1 year later, and then 1 year after that. 3 years in a row might be a sign you don't want to put your house there. And pictures from back then. Any questions this morning? I noted I have a question in there. How long does it take to complete a PDA? That would be a hard one to answer. And I'll let someone from recovery answer that. How many teams and how many counties would be a big factor. And how long it takes to complete damage assessments. All right, seeing nothing else, everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you later.